Think you know everything about Formula One? Well, buckle up, because I bet you a tenner you don't. This isn't some Sunday drive to the shops. We're talking about the pinnacle of motorsport, the bleeding edge of technology, a symphony of speed and sound. We're diving headfirst into the world of F1, uncovering the hidden gems, the unbelievable truths, the downright hilarious anecdotes that make this sport so bloody brilliant. From mind-boggling speeds to eye-watering costs, we're serving up a high-octane cocktail of F1 facts that'll leave you speechless. So put down the tea, grab a biscuit, and get ready to be amazed. Because in the world of Formula One, the truth is often stranger and far more entertaining than fiction. Now, you might think you've got a quick car, something sporty tucked away in the garage. Maybe it's your pride and joy, the one you take out on weekends to feel the wind in your hair. But let me tell you, compared to an F1 car, your little hatchback is about as fast as a snail in a snowstorm. These beasts are built for speed, precision, and performance. These machines are on another level. We're talking 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a mind-bending 2.6 seconds. That's quicker than you can blink twice. That's right, in the time it takes you to say Nigel Mansell, these blokes are already halfway down the straight. It's almost like they defy the laws of physics. To put it into perspective, that's faster than a bloody jumbo jet taking off. Imagine that, a car outpacing a massive aircraft. It's the kind of acceleration that pins you to your seat, makes your eyeballs sweat, and leaves you wondering if your face just rearranged itself. It's an experience like no other, and it's all thanks to the immense power-to-weight ratio and those massive rear wings glued to the back. They provide the necessary downforce to keep the car glued to the track. Downforce, my friends, that's the name of the game. It's what allows these cars to corner at such high speeds without losing grip. Listen, I like a bit of luxury as much as the next bloke. A comfy chair, a decent cuppa, maybe a roaring fire in the winter. But Formula One, they take extravagance to a whole new level. We're talking about a sport where a single car costs more than a small island. You could buy a fleet of supercars, a mansion in Monaco, and still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of champagne. But no, in F1, that's just the price of entry. On average, these technological marvels cost around $12 million to build. And that's before you factor in the crashes, the engine blowouts, and the occasional unplanned disassembling of the car by a particularly enthusiastic driver. So yeah, not exactly the cheapest hobby in the world. You know, people often ask me, Jeremy, what's the toughest part about being a racing driver? Is it the G-forces, the pressure, the constant threat of death? Well, it turns out it's the bloody heat. Imagine yourself strapped into a carbon fiber oven wearing a fireproof onesie, helmet, and enough gear to survive a small explosion. Oh, and did I mention you're driving at breakneck speeds for 2 hours straight? Welcome to the F1 sauna experience. These drivers are practically cooking inside those cockpits, with temperatures soaring over 50 degrees Celsius. It's like driving through the Sahara Desert with a hairdryer pointed at your face. So the next time you're complaining about a warm summer's day, spare a thought for these brave souls. Chapter 4. Monaco Mayhem, when pit stops were a contact sport. Now the Monaco Grand Prix, it's the jewel in the F1 crown, a race through the streets of Monte Carlo, more glamour than a night out with Liz Hurley. But back in the day, things were a tad more, shall we say, relaxed. You see, up until 1994, there was no speed limit in the pit lane. Can you imagine that? These days, it's all timed to the millisecond, a ballet of precision and speed. But back then, it was a free-for-all. Drivers were weaving through the pit lane like they were late for a haircut, mechanics dodging out of the way just in time. Thankfully, they saw sense and introduced a speed limit. Chapter 5. Defying Gravity, the F1 Upside Down Challenge. Remember that feeling you got on a roller coaster, your stomach in your throat, convinced you were about to be launched into orbit? Well, imagine experiencing that at 200 kilometers per hour, upside down, in a car. Sounds insane, right? But thanks to the magic of aerodynamics, it's theoretically possible in an F1 car. You see, these cars generate so much downforce they could stick to the ceiling of a tunnel like a gecko on a window pane. Now, I'm not suggesting we try it, but just imagine the possibilities. An upside-down Grand Prix racing through a giant tube like some futuristic circus act. Chapter 6. The world's longest pit stop, 43 hours of pure boredom. Now we've all been there, stuck in a queue, watching the minutes tick by, wondering if we'll ever escape this purgatory. It's a universal experience, one that tests our patience and sanity. But nothing, and I mean nothing, compares to the pit stop from hell experienced by one unfortunate driver. This was not just a delay, it was a marathon of frustration. Picture this: 1982, San Marino Grand Prix. Our hero runs out of fuel and limps into the pits, desperate for a splash and dash. The tension was palpable, the stakes incredibly high. But wait, what's this? The mechanics are panicking, scrambling around like a bunch of penguins in a heat wave. It was chaos, pure and simple. They've got no fuel. And so began the longest pit stop in F1 history. The clock kept ticking, and the frustration kept building. For 43 hours, this poor sod sat there, watching the world go by, probably contemplating his life choices. Every second must have felt like an eternity. In the end, he did get his fuel and rejoined the race, only to be disqualified for receiving outside assistance. A cruel twist to an already unbelievable story. Now, if you thought that last pit stop was a bit of a snooze fest, then hold on to your hats, because we're about to witness the epitome of speed and efficiency. Forget your local garage, where they take 3 days to change a tire. This is Formula One, where every millisecond counts. The record for the fastest pit stop ever belongs to Red Bull Racing, clocking in at an unbelievable 1.82 seconds. It's a blur of controlled chaos, a team of highly trained ninjas swarming the car, changing tires, adjusting wings, and sending the driver on his way before you've even had time to blink. They practice these maneuvers endlessly, choreographing every move, shaving off fractions of a second. It's a testament to their skill, their teamwork, and their ability to function under immense pressure. Now, you might think tires are just round black things that keep your car off the ground. And you'd be right for the most part. But in the world of Formula One, tires are practically living, breathing entities, pampered and preened more than a Hollywood starlet. These aren't your average rubber donuts. These are high-tech marvels, designed to withstand incredible forces, searing temperatures, and the occasional run-in with a curb. And boy, do they get hot. We're talking operating temperatures of 100 to 120 degrees Celsius. That's hot enough to boil water, cook an egg, or melt the face off a Lego man. Why so hot? Well, it all comes down to grip. You see, the hotter the tire, the stickier it becomes, allowing the drivers to corner at ludicrous speeds. Now, we all know that feeling of victory. That moment of triumph when you've crossed the finish line first. Maybe you've won a local pub quiz. Maybe you beat your personal best on a run. But in Formula One, victory is celebrated in a shower of champagne, a tradition as old as time itself. But here's the thing, not just any old plonk will do. Oh no, we're talking about the good stuff, the top shelf bubbly, the kind that makes your nose tickle and your wallet weep. For years, the official champagne of Formula One was Moet and Chandon, a brand synonymous with luxury and celebration. But wait, there's a twist. In a move that shocked the world, Formula One decided to switch things up, ditching the traditional champagne for sparkling wine. Now, I know what you're thinking. All this talk of million-dollar cars, space-age technology, it's all a bit out of reach for us mere mortals, right? It seems like the kind of stuff reserved for the elite, the untouchable, and the super rich. Well, not so fast. You might be surprised to learn that some of the innovations developed in the cutthroat world of Formula One have trickled down to the cars we drive every day. Yes, the very same cars parked in our driveways or cruising down the highway. Take traction control, for example. This technology has become a lifesaver for many drivers, especially in tricky weather conditions. This clever system, which helps prevent wheel spin and keeps you pointing in the right direction, was first developed for F1 cars back in the 1980s. It was a game changer then and continues to be one now. And now, it's practically standard in most modern vehicles. You can find it in everything from family sedans to high-performance sports cars. Or how about those fancy paddle shifters you see on sporty cars these days? They make driving feel like a real racing experience. Yep, you guessed it. Another F1 hand-me-down. These were designed to give drivers more control and faster gear changes. They were first introduced in the 1980s as a way to make gear changes faster and smoother. And now, they're a staple in many high-end road cars. And let's not forget about carbon fiber, that lightweight, super strong material that's used in everything from golf clubs to airplanes. It's revolutionized many industries. It was first pioneered in F1, where saving weight is crucial for performance. Today, it's a common material in many high-performance and luxury vehicles, making them faster and more efficient. Well, there you have it, folks. A whistle-stop tour through the wacky, wonderful world of Formula One. From insane speeds to champagne showers, this sport has it all. And the best part? It's only getting faster, louder, and more exciting. So whether you're a die-hard fan or a curious newcomer, I hope you've enjoyed this little glimpse behind the scenes. Thanks for joining us here on Slipstream Studio, your pit stop for all things F1. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more high-octane fun.